Over half a billion views for just 3 episodes. For comparison, Helluva Boss gets approximately 25 million views per episode. This is the Amazing Digital Circus we're talking about, by far the most successful indie animation in the history of the universe, probably. And I haven't even talked about it here on this channel, so I guess it's time now. I wasn't initially interested in watching the show, but I became extremely curious about why the show is so insanely popular. And just like in the case of Has-Been Hotel pilot, the creator already had an established fan base. If Wivzy Pop had been known for years for her webcomic named Zoophilia, which brought her a lot of creative fame and some weird allegations from Terminal Online people, Glitch has been pumping out Murder Drones, a super well-known web series, which I haven't seen, to be honest. I am not a fan of CGI animation. The Amazing Digital Circus is Glitch's latest project, and boy, this views are just something else. It also helps that the show has multiple audio tracks in a lot of different languages, which I think is a really neat feature. Something good from damn YouTube, which constantly tries to make the life of an average content creator as unbearable as possible, by practically forcing all the sensitive content out of the platform. But cartoons with gore are somehow absolutely fine. Don't tell YouTube to ban cartoons with gore. So anyway, the Amazing Digital Circus has hundreds of millions of views. The show's animation is actually really good. It is honestly quite unusual for an indie animation studio to use CGI. The vast majority of indie cartoons I watched were made in 2D, since 2D animation and hand-drawn animation are more visually appealing. However, everything in the Amazing Digital Circus looks visually pleasing. Character designs are intentionally bizarre, and the main character, Pomni, has the least jarring design. She's just a very petite, small clown girl. And we all know why. I mean, this guy certainly would not generate tons of crazy fan art. I dug through the internet looking for Pomni fan art, and some stuff genuinely gave me PTSD, and I wouldn't recommend repeating my silly mistake. I mean, I should make a separate video about strange fan art. There is just so much bizarre stuff there that I can't believe it was made by human beings. But let us return to the show, shall we? Glitch definitely did everything right by the playbook. I'm gonna give you a piece of advice now. If you're making animation or maybe writing a comic book, make the main protagonist cute or attractive, regardless of gender. Seriously though, this is just basic evolutionary biology. People are attracted to pretty characters because of genetics. If your character is attractive, then people will be watching your show even if the quality isn't exactly great. I mean, half of the anime shows out there are plain horrible, but cute character designs keep viewership afloat. Pomni is insanely likable. As I said, her Arlequin design is very cute. Her head is big, her eyes, her voice sounds a little bit childish, even though she's a grown-up woman, which makes us wanna care for her and protect her. She looks lost and on the verge of nervous breakdown throughout an entire first episode. Other characters are also interesting, but Pomni, I believe, is the main reason why most people keep watching the show. But she's not the only reason, of course. The setting is also quite bizarre. The story takes place inside some computer simulation run by a character named Kane. While reading some reviews of the show, I found an interesting comment saying that Amazing Digital Circus is practically I have no mouth but I must scream. But M isn't a crazy AI psychopath. In case you aren't familiar with I Have No Mouth, it's a horror story by Harlan Ellison released in 1967. In this story, a powerful AI computer named M, or AM, I'm not sure, created by the US government to fight against the USSR and China, turns against humanity and destroys the world in a nuclear catastrophe. However, M leaves 5 humans alive to torture them forever within a computer simulation. Now I think you see why some people compare the Amazing Digital Circus to this story. From now on, I'm gonna refer to the Amazing Digital Circus as ADC. Kane isn't AM, he's got no goal of torturing his prisoners, but there are certainly many similarities. Kane pulls random people from the real world and puts them into this virtual 3D reality created by him, turning them into bizarre looking creatures. They don't just stay in the circus, Kane regularly sends them to different missions because it amuses him, or something like that. We still don't know for sure, but we know that everyone within the simulation was not a volunteer. Pomni wakes up not remembering practically anything. She doesn't remember who she is or where she came from. We got only glimpses of her past life in the first episode. It's very interesting to see in which direction the story is going and how it's gonna unfold. The ADC has this eerie and uncanny vibe, which I'm honestly loving. I like how visuals, light, music and sound design make me feel a little bit freaked out, so I perfectly understand how Pomni feels, being trapped inside the simulation. Especially at the end of episode 1, when she's trying to escape through the door, but each door just leads to a different room, and there is literally no way out of the virtual world. This reminded me a bit of Uzumaki. Characters there were trapped in a town by the sea and could not escape. The first episode had this uncanny horror vibe, especially at the end. Speaking of horror, let's briefly discuss the latest third episode. It was actually pretty damn creepy if I'm being honest here. It's a typical going to haunted house episode where Pomni and Kinger have to survive in a house with a couple of actually creepy and uncanny creatures. At the end they literally go to hell, and I was honestly expecting some Helluva Boss reference for some reason. I really thought there would be something, but no. Overall, the third episode was great and had some powerful emotional moments with Pomni and Kinger. Speaking of horror, I think I'll make a separate video just discussing how well the show works with horror elements and how it upholds this eerie uncanny vibe that I mentioned before. The sound design is very good, especially in episode 1. A couple of more things to add. First, the self-censorship thing was pretty cool and funny, I must admit. Second thing, I need a brief explanation why is the first episode called Pilot. Aren't pilots supposed to pitch the show? Pilot of Has Been Hotel, for example, is not even canon, it just introduces the characters, the idea and the setting. The same can be said about pilot episodes of many other shows, from Steven Universe to Helluva Boss. But the ADC pilot, it's just the first episode. It is followed by the second episode, which directly continues the pilot, so I don't think it should be called a pilot episode. Or maybe I just lack some knowledge, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thanks for watching, and I feel awkward saying this, but please subscribe and leave a comment. These are the best ways to help YouTube algorithms to spread my videos to my potential audience. And have a nice day. And just one last thing. I really thought that Kane and Blitz from Helluva Boss were voiced by the same voice actor. Seriously, they sound so similar. I really thought it was the same voice actor, but turns out it's not. Luckily I didn't add this part to my script.